Hello, viewers! I didn't think I'd be doing this again. But here we are, with my Frozen 2 trailer review being my 5th most popular video ever, sitting at almost 700 views in a matter of weeks! And now Aladdin is it was number 1 on trending, now is number 2 on trending, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. So, you know what? Let's talk some Aladdin. So, first off, I'd like to point out one thing. For all of you haters out there who thought this movie was going to suck, you can't lie that they've definitely improved with this new trailer. I think that there's a lot to look at and a lot to see. And, let's just talk about some Aladdin stuff. So, there was like a lot happening in these different scenes. I'm not going to list it all in order because I don't have it right in front of me, and this is just my first thoughts, just watching this trailer drop. It's really nuts. So we get to see a lot more of Aladdin in this trailer than we did before, and I've got to say he looks pretty cool. And he looks a little richer than Aladdin does in the cartoon, mostly because Aladdin in the cartoon is missing a shirt. But it does feel a little more real to me for him to have actual clothing, because I feel like getting an old beat up shirt isn't something that would be too hard to get when you're living in a city, you know? And it would appear that he is still stealing, and he's acting like normal Aladdin would in his different things. And there are a lot of shots of Aladdin and Jasmine and the city and the genie, and I've got to say that Will Smith's genie is starting to kind of grow on me. I mean, after the first trailer, we made some memes and got very hostile regarding the situation. But I think he has improved a lot, and we've gotten to see him a lot more. And I appreciate that he's not always this blue, fantastic genie. He sometimes turns into the people, which we actually saw in the animated version as well, which I liked how they stayed true to that. You know, you can see him at different parties, you know, in blue-styled clothing, but he's got skin that's not blue, and is living normally, I guess, in a way, as normal as a genie can get. So the main thing I'd like to talk about is Jafar. So a lot of you guys and a lot of people everywhere have said that Jafar isn't really too menacing in this movie so far. The trailers have made him off to be this, bring me the lamp. You know, he doesn't sound very intimidating. And my reasoning for this is that Jafar, in both the live-action movie and the animated movie, has always been a man of action, but action with tools. He's always needed something to get what he needs to get done. If he was a man of brute strength, he could just assassinate the king and take over. But he always uses guards, he always uses all these different, he needs the lamp, he has the staff in the animated movie, he just has all these different tools that he uses to get what he wants, rather than using himself to get what he wants. And so I feel if we have a Jafar with this little tiny voice that doesn't sound quite as intimidating as he did in the actual show, then that kind of makes sense. He's a little shorter, his voice isn't as intimidating, and he kind of just seems like an ordinary guy, which I think is kind of the point. He wasn't born evil, he doesn't naturally possess evil powers without some kind of tool. And this becomes incredibly apparent in the animated show and even in this live action show. You can just really tell that he's kind of weak. And I think that that's what they're trying to show here, is that Jafar is not a villain because he has power in strength or power in power. He's the power of cunning and the power of skill. You know, basically is Slytherin, for those of you who are Harry Potter fans. So I feel like if they do it right, he can still play the part in a good way. And I feel like perhaps when he gains more power, his voice will be deeper, or he'll gain more confidence, or his stature will change, he'll grow a little taller. You know, who knows what. There's a shot in the trailer where he's wearing, I think it's Jafar, is wearing these weird-looking robes and going, ah, and stretching out. And I think that that's him gaining some power. So that's my opinion of Jafar. I think that that's probably the biggest controversy of this trailer, since we got the genie thing cleared up for the most part. And I think Disney can pull it off if they do it right. There have been some interesting choices made in the animated to live-action film transitions. And I'm not going to list them all because I don't want to like offend people and such, but there's definitely been some choices I was not a fan of. Emma Watson's auto-tune, that kind of bothered me. But nonetheless, I feel like this film has a lot of potential. There's one last thing I wanted to touch on before I finish this out, and that's that there is this one shot in the trailer where Jasmine sort of turns around and like yells, but it looks too choreographed to be a yell, I guess, because she's not like ah, it's more just like a ha, like she's singing. And I know I'm like probably reading into this too much, but I read into the Frozen 2 trailer too much, and that blew up super huge. So reading into trailers gets hits, I guess. So I think there's a possibility that Jasmine will get a very special solo song to herself. For those of you who have seen the junior version of Aladdin, the musical, there is a song where Jasmine sings with her servants, basically, and sings about how she wants to go out of the palace. And it's this super soft, melodic song. But with the 2019 and the moves of gender equality and feminism and all this different stuff, I think it would be interesting to see Jasmine have a song where she is sort of empowered and it's very strong and I don't want to call it upbeat because it's not going to be a happy song. It's probably just going to be a very defiant song where she sort of stands her ground and sings, you know. And that's what this kind of last shot sort of tells me. So I guess in conclusion, those are the majority of my thoughts. Jafar is a wimp because he is a wimp and his brain is where his strength lies. Jasmine is possibly going to get her own solo. Aladdin actually has clothes now. The genie is actually pretty cool. And all in all, I'm definitely going to see this movie. Even if it's terrible, I'm still going to see it at least once. And I think I will probably enjoy it enough to where I won't feel the need to get up and leave the theater, because I've never really had any movies that have done that for me, except for some like really bad ones, but I can't remember them at the moment, mostly because I blocked them out of my head. So I'm very hopeful for the new movie coming out, and I think that Aladdin is going to be very interesting. So I'm definitely going to see the movie and give you a review if you guys want that. Same as with Frozen 2, I'm going to give a review of that. So if you liked what you saw, please subscribe and please share with your friends. And check out some of my animations, because even though I do these theory bits, I also animate as well. And that's something that I'd like all the people who like enjoying my theories to check out, are some of these little animated bits that I do as well, because I really have a big passion for animation. So thank you again so much for watching. This has been JJ Prince, and I will see you later.